Welcome back. Well, brand new polling out of the Wall Street Journal showing Donald Trump leading Biden across voters' top issues. And the economy, no exception, with Trump ahead by nearly 20 points. But the White House claims the latest jobs report shows Joe Biden is following through and cleaning up the economy. Well, here to react, former White House economic advisor Stephen Moore. Stephen, great to see you, as always. So this jobs report, the White House is trying to spin it as a real good thing. What do you make of it?
Well, hey, good morning, Pete.
Good
Great
morning.
to be with you. First of all, I mean, look, the job situation is still pretty good in this country, no doubt about it. There are more jobs than people looking for work. So that's the good news of the story. But then you look, Pete, I did an examination of where the jobs are being created, and this is the not so good news. The number one producer of jobs this year, you know what sector of the economy it's been? Government. Government has been the biggest employer. Pete, we're running a $2 trillion deficit. We want the government to getting smaller so we can start paying our bills. By the way, the other two sectors where we see big job growth are healthcare and education, which are both kind of
government, tangentially government, yeah.
Finances those. Yeah, exactly.
So is that because of the so-called Inflation Reduction Act and all these government acts have led to these jobs?
Of course. Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you look at what's happened since Joe Biden came into office, we've spent and borrowed $6 trillion over what we normally spend. So all the money is flowing through government. And my point is, Pete, we want the private sector. Look what's happened with manufacturing. Look at what's happening with mining. Look what's happening with construction. You know, the kinds of jobs we want to be creating. Those have been flat, Pete. It's government is dictating more of our economy. I'm a free market guy, Pete. I want to see our industries growing, not Washington, D.C. And this is an example, by the way, you know, when you ask people in Washington, how's the economy? They say, oh, it's great. When you go to Main Street America, they're not feeling the love. That's
such a great point. So if you add up the rebound from COVID, which, of course, Biden wants to take credit for, and add that to the government jobs, it shows you how devastating the reality of actual private economic growth is in this country. And that's why the numbers at the national level are so divorced from the spin the White House has given us. Let me get to one more topic with you, Stephen, and that's student loan forgiveness. How is the Biden administration forgiving another almost $5 billion in student debt? Can they just wave a wand?
You would think so, wouldn't you? You know, the last time I checked, we had three branches of government, Pete, and we had a legislative branch which makes the laws. And the last time I checked, the government doesn't, I mean, the president does not have a unilateral authority to spend money. And yet, over $100 billion of student loan forgiveness has taken place. And by the way, it's the most dingbat idea ever, why we have to pay college graduates to repay their loans. But, you know, you look at this situation, and, Pete, not one penny of that money was authorized by Congress, right? And on top of that, as you know, Pete, the Supreme Court ruled against the president's authority to do this. So he's ignoring Congress and the Supreme Court. I mean, can you imagine if Donald Trump did this, Pete? They say he's a dictator, he's a tyrant, and then Biden does it, and the left doesn't even raise an eyebrow.
No doubt. A big portion of the relief is coming from the public sector loan forgiveness program. So more forgiveness for government employees. That's exactly how the Biden administration works. Stephen Moore, thanks for breaking it down for us.
By the way, Pete, I know the answer to your question. I know the number one song, which was by Michael Jackson. It was called "I Saw Mama
Kissing Santa
Claus."
Jackson 5.
Yeah, that was his classic.
There you
Remember
go.
that one?
Yeah. Yep. That is a classic.
Version of that song.
Stephen Moore delivers. Stephen Moore delivers. Man of many talents. Thank you, sir.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.